Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you all for coming out to this episode of Chill with Jim, where it is always business up top and pajamas on the bottom. I am your host. My name is Jim McCarthy, and I am the client advocate for Strix, Louisiana. My job is to make sure that our clients are set up with the best equipment, the best software, and the best IT solutions to make sure that their businesses are running at optimal efficiency. We also have David DeArmond, the owner of Strix Louisiana, with us.
Hey, everybody, David DeOrman, owner of Strix, Louisiana. And it's my job every week to sit quietly and contemplate what exactly is my job. And so that's what I do.
That's weird because the rest of the Strix team, they do that about 3 days a week too.
Everybody's just sitting around wondering, what is my job?
What does David
What?
do?
Oh, y'all are wondering what I do.
That's what I'm saying. Not
Oh,
what we do. I mean, we know.
oh, okay. Well,
I'm
one day
chilling.
we all have goals in life. Mine can be to figure out what it is I do all day.
It'd be funny if, like how they have job descriptions, if owners wrote their own job description, because I don't really see that in the manual too often.
It would probably just be owner.
Yeah. Own the company, check. Okay. All right. So just tell you guys a little bit about Strix. We believe there's always a better, simpler, more secure way to do just about everything in this world. And so what that looks like for us is we are constantly searching and adapting our processes to make sure that we do indeed have the best solutions in place. Now, we believe that part of this responsibility is to help educate our clients as well as others out there to the best possible ways to use maybe their current resources that they're using. We want to go over things that bring awareness to current security risks and just talk about other general trends that are happening in the IT world today. And today actually was one of the topics that I came up with. And like I was telling the guys a little bit before this, it was one that I started to get into, and then I started to dive down this rabbit hole of possibilities, and they are endless. And so I am going to try to stay on track today and show you the most relevant things I can. But today we're going to be showing you how to use specifically your computer and your iPhone hands-free. So that's with voice control. And it's pretty cool to think about, just even when I think about growing up, watching movies in the 90s, that voice control was a sci-fi idea. Voice control was something that wasn't out yet, that just seemed like a bizarre concept. Like, oh, I can just talk to a machine and it does what I want. Well, nowadays we've become so accustomed to it that with Alexa and things like this, even our youngest children are able to communicate with our devices, just like it's normal everyday things because it's been around for so long. And so first, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and show you how to use Cortana on Windows 10. And this will allow you to do certain things with your Windows 10 computer without typing a single key on your keyboard. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is share my screen. And so I think, David, are you just able to see my desktop right now?
That's right. That's what I see.
All right. So first, what we need to do is we need to go into our settings and go ahead and make sure that our Cortana is on. So through Windows, you click on this Windows icon in the bottom left. You're going to go to your settings, and then you're going to go to the Cortana button. So Cortana, right here, it gives you the option to turn it on or off. So this lets your computer respond to the voice command of, hey, Cortana. And yep, there it goes. I thought it was going to do that. So it's going to probably do that throughout because now that I have it turned on, it's constantly listening for that. Now, what I did here is I actually checked the box here to keep this running on my device even when it's sleeping. So I can actually always, and I have someone coming in right behind me, so forgive me here. Say hi, you're live on Chill with Jim. Nope, it's all good. That's my roommate's girlfriend there. She says hello. So I had to switch up my venue to be able to show you guys all these cool tricks. But so I turned on mine so that even if it's sleeping, even if it's locked down here, I can say, hey, Cortana at any time, and it will react to my voice. I'm gonna go ahead and end that right now. So that's how you make sure that Cortana is on. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just start out with a few things that we can do to show you the capabilities of Cortana. Start out with just some kind of funny things. So, hey, Cortana, tell me a joke. Hey, Cortana, tell me a joke. All right, ha, ha, ha. Hey, Cortana, are you real? Hey, Cortana, will you marry me? Hey, Cortana,
Like the
do an
suggestion.
impression. Oh, oops.
Oh, sorry.
I pronounced it wrong. Hey, Cortana. Hey, Cortana. Hey, Cortana. Tell me a riddle.
Oh,
Short.
shorter.
There you go. So those are some of the
Are
kind
you
of the
ticklish? That's one of the. It's one of
that
the
was
suggestions there.
yeah, that was one of the I didn't even click on it, didn't want to go there. Uh, so those are some of the kind of goofy, funny things that Cortana can do. But you can also do some more functional things with Cortana. So, hey Cortana, hey Cortana, set a reminder. Take out the garbage. 3 p.m. Boom. I just set a reminder. So at 3 p.m., I will get a reminder on my computer that pops up and tells me, Jim, you need to take out the garbage. Hey,
So,
Cortana. Yeah, go ahead.
hey, I don't know if do you hear Cortana talking to you?
Yeah, oh, you can't hear her?
No, no.
Let's try this again.
Yeah, share your sound this time.
So you didn't get to hear her funny jokes?
We read them.
Okay. All right. Well, darn. Okay. Hey, Cortana. Hey, Cortana. She likes to do this on me. Hey, Cortana. Delete reminder.
I found one reminder. Today, take out the garbage. Should I delete it?
Yes.
Reminder deleted.
So you can add, you can delete. Now, can you hear her talking now?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Okay. All right. You can also do some other things that that are useful, like, hey, Cortana, where is the nearest Chinese food restaurant?
I found 12 Chinese restaurants. There's P.F. Chang's at 7341 Corporate Boulevard in Baton Rouge.
Pretty nice, pretty nice. Hey, Cortana, add something to my grocery list.
All right. What do you want to add to your grocery list?
Bacon.
All right. I added bacon to your grocery list.
There we go. Bacon is on my grocery list. So you can do things like ask it certain questions. So if you're if you're cooking, for instance, hey Cortana, hey Cortana, come on now. Hey Cortana,
I think it's that northern accent.
hey, watch it.
Talk with a drawl.
Hey Cortana. It didn't work.
Dang it. That would have been awesome.
Hey Cortana. How many cups are in an ounce?
1 U.S. fluid ounce is approximately 0.13 U.S. cups.
So you can ask it questions like that, where if you're in the middle of cooking, maybe you're in a debate about how many miles are, or how many feet are in a mile with someone. Let's say we want to know what the score of the New Orleans Saints game was. So, hey Cortana. Hey Cortana. Hey Cortana. What was the score of the New Orleans Saints game?
On Sunday, the Saints destroyed the Buccaneers 38-3,
Who dat?
winning Sunday night football matchup this week.
Hey Cortana. What is the weather like?
Right now, it's cloudy and 82. The forecast shows partly sunny skies with a high of 82 and a low of 57, with a slight chance of rain.
Hey Cortana. What is 250 divided by 300?
250 divided by 300 is approximately 0.83.
Hey Cortana. Set an alarm for 4 p.m. today.
All right, I've turned on your alarm for 4 p.m.
I'm gonna have all kinds of stuff beeping at me later. So those are some of the kind of little quirky things we can do with Cortana. But there are also some other features we can do, like open programs. So, hey Cortana. Hey Cortana. Hey Cortana. Open Word.
Okay, which word do you want to open? Word or WordPad?
Word.
Sure thing. Starting Word.
So there you go. You can open any program you have on your computer. The cool thing about Cortana too is when you do go in here and you can actually sync all of these things to your other programs. So if you wanted to sync it to your Office 365 or your Outlook, you could pull up emails. You can have Cortana, and I didn't link all of mine because I'm not a big fan of it. But so security reasons. But you can have Cortana open up your Outlook and pull up your last email. You can have Cortana open up your Outlook and start a new email. It's pretty cool. You can have Cortana open up your Spotify and play certain music if you would like. And so those are some of the things, your LinkedIn account, your Gmail account, that you can go ahead and set up through this. When you have your calendar synced with it, you can set up appointments. And then actually, if you have any home automation tools, you're able to connect those with Cortana as well. So you're able to dim the lights. You know, if you have a smart thermometer, you're able to connect it here where you could change the temperature of the house. Um, you know, we talked about the calendar feature a little bit. You can check on traffic, so you can actually put in your home address or wherever your computer is located, that address. So you can say, Cortana, where's the direction to PF Chang's? Like we wanted to find the Chinese restaurant earlier, and it will give you detailed directions straight to there. We went over the reminders and lists. You can sync up any of your financial tools you use. Like if you use stocks or trading, you can sync up your Robinhood account, track your flights. One of the things we did, the sports, weather, you can do news. They do have a way you can go ahead and do restaurant reservations. So you can have Cortana set up a reservation for you at a certain specific time. And so those are just some of the cool ways that Cortana can make your life a lot easier. Without really even having to touch your computer screen or your computer at all. And so I did try this earlier. Hey, Cortana, news.
I pulled up top stories for today.
Ooh.
The first headline from people on MSN.com is TX teacher allegedly shot son dead while driving him to school, told strangers this is not real.
So it doesn't, I'm not promising
Depressing.
it's gonna pull you up the best news in here. But then also on top of Cortana, Windows does have another dictation program that you can use that can help you actually dictate and write emails, write in Word and things like that. It's pretty involved, so that might be for another Chill with Jim episode, but this is just kind of to show you how using Cortana can really help you just navigate your computer when you're, you know, maybe you're not next to it. Maybe you just have a quick question. You're on the phone and you don't have your hands free. I really do like to open the application feature. So, hey Cortana. Hey Cortana. I think it's when I start talking a lot. Hey Cortana. Hey Cortana. Open Spotify.
Okay, opening Spotify.
So pretty awesome. And when you sync your Spotify account, you can actually tell it what songs to play. You can tell it which artist, you can select playlists and all of that. So it's a really cool function. Windows is constantly improving it. They're constantly bringing out new features and all of that. So that's a little briefing on the Cortana, and I'm making sure I don't say the hey before that. Did you have any questions there, David, on or Brad on?
My biggest question is it Cortana or is it Cortana?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I
I think from the Halo world they call it Cortana, right? Because Cortana was on the Microsoft game Halo, or the game that was on Xbox. So she was kind of like the AI of Halo, and so then they just went ahead. Microsoft put it into Windows as well. But I think if you're from Baton Rouge, it's Cortana because that's the mall. So
yeah. Well, and I don't even know how I'm saying
you're saying it both ways. It's pretty funny, yeah.
it.
But she did answer to both. So
Okay. Nice.
it was interesting to see.
Well, so there's a little bit of an insider on that. And the next thing we're going to actually show you is the super powerful, and I'm going to pull it up here. We're going to go over options for your iPhone and how to enable your iPhone to do almost every single thing you need um, without your hands. So let me read just a few things here. I am going to first project my iPhone onto my TV here so that everybody can see it. All righty. And then I'm going to, this is why I'm in my new location here, show you all the TV here. All right, you see that okay?
Yep. A little blurry,
Oh,
but that's okay.
okay, so I could probably move it closer if that helps. Is it real blurry?
Yeah, it's better with the light on.
Oh. All right, so.
Looks like an Alfred Hitchcock movie now.
Well, I think that might be the best we can get it. Move it a little bit closer here. See if that helps. Looks to be helping some.
Yep, good enough.
All right. So with the iPhone, instead of Hey Cortana or Hey Cortana, they have the feature which is Siri. And so first, again, you'll have to go into your iPhone settings and you will turn on your Siri. I already did that. It's pretty simple. So I'm not really going to go over that, but you can say things like, hey, Siri, open iMessages. And that's going to show me all of my recent iMessages here. And hey, Siri, show last iMessage. Hey, Siri, open last iMessage. All right, that's me texting myself with a testing, testing, testing. So pretty cool. Hey, Siri, read last iMessage. Could you hear that?
A little bit.
We'll turn the TV up. Better?
Yep.
All right, so those are some of the cool, I think cool iMessage functions. You can also do some very easy phone functionality things here. So, hey Siri, call Jim McCarthy here. And that's calling myself there. So, hey Siri, text Jim McCarthy here. Live from Chill with Jim. Yes. Boom. I got a message from myself. You can FaceTime this way. You can send an email this way. Check all of your voicemails. Hey Siri, open calculator. So you can open your calculator from here. You can open pretty much any app you want. Hey Siri, open Spotify. So she even gives you suggestions on what to do. So she suggested I say, hey Siri, play Daft Punk on Spotify. Oh, get it, David.
It's not Papa Roach. I don't care.
Oh, terrible, terrible, terrible. You can say things like, "Hey Siri, take a picture." Oh, hey Siri, take a picture. Look at that. Look at that. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri, take a selfie. You can turn on your Wi-Fi. You can turn off your Wi-Fi. You can turn up your volume. You can turn it down. You can mute your phone. Um, you can also do some pretty cool kind of tricks like we showed you with Cortana, which is, hey Siri, how do you say chill in Spanish?
I found two results in Spanish. If you mean cold that can be felt, you'd say fresca. If you mean feeling of cold at the start of a sickness, it's calofrío.
Escalofrío. So that's a pretty cool one. Hey Siri, what's the definition of chill?
As a noun, it means an unpleasant feeling of coldness in the atmosphere, one's surroundings, or the body. Do you want to hear the next one?
No. You can do things like you can look up what maybe if you're in a different country and you need to know how much a dollar is in a euro. Hey Siri, how much is $1 in euros?
$1 is 85 cents.
So there's a lot of powerful capabilities here. You can do math features like we showed you before. Um, and you can do the sports thing again, like, hey Siri, who won the New Orleans Saints game?
The Saints definitively beat the Buccaneers by a score of 38-3 last Sunday.
You can do other things like set your timers. You can set your wake up time, set an alarm, set an appointment, cancel appointments, do reminders, get directions, and do anything where pretty much any of these apps are going to do. So, hey Siri, set an alarm.
For what time?
4 p.m.
The alarm is set for 4 p.m.
So boom, I got my alarm set. Pretty nice. When you're feeling lazy at night and you know you got to wake up, but you can't remember if you even set your alarm, just say, Siri, set my alarm. Um, the next features that I'm going to show you is where I really started to go down the rabbit hole here. And that's there's also what's besides Siri, there's Apple's come out with this voice control feature that is ridiculously powerful. And so what the voice control can do is it actually, there's a little microphone that's going to pop up on your screen and it's visible, but what it does is it's always listening. You don't have to say, hey Siri, it's just constantly listening. You can give it simple commands like open settings, uh, or go back, swipe left. You can tell it to choose or select certain things that are on your screen. You can tell it to tap on things. And so this one is really, really cool. So to turn it on, you go into your settings and you're gonna go to accessibility. So I'm just gonna search for accessibility here, accessibility, and go down to voice control. And this one I had to be careful with because once you turn it on, it is on. So on. And then that is on now. All right. So from here, you can tell your phone to do things like swipe right, swipe left, tap on text. I said the wrong word. Open text. Come on. Open
Texts
control.
or notes?
Um, Open notes. Open control center. Open Spotify. All right, there's, let's go back to notes here. Open notes. Open notes. Show numbers. So those numbers, they give you the ability to press whatever's number associated with that. So I would say something like tap 9. It opens a new note. And once I'm in here, it's going to start typing everything that I say. So it actually has a keyboard command where it's going to dictate everything that I'm saying. Select all. Oh, wait. Select all. So it selected that word instead. Let's try this. Copy.
Just running a little bit behind.
Yeah.
How's your internet there?
Well, it's probably being eaten up a lot because I have the TV on it, my phone on it, the laptop on it right now. And it's writing everything I'm saying. So paste. Paste that. Paste that. It does give you little suggestions at the top. Okay, well, that's not working. We can do things like go home. Maybe I have to be out of the note. Let's try this. Hey Siri, go home.
Getting directions to home.
Don't want that. All right. Search web for Chill with Jim episode YouTube. Search web for Chill with Jim episode. Hey, look at that. Pretty sweet. Take screenshot. Open Apple Pay. I don't know if I have that app. So you can open any kind of app. Open Gmail. Open Gmail. Sweet. So it opens my Gmail. And then, so let's do this. I'll show you some of the messaging functionality here. Open messages. See, I was saying open text earlier. That wasn't it. Open messages. New message. Tap person. Oh. Tap David. Come on. Tap David. Just gonna type it. Oh. Okay, let's try this. Tap emojis. Dictation mode. Select all. Cut. Show numbers. Tap 28. Show numbers. Tap 1. That's what I was doing wrong. Show numbers. Show numbers. Tap 2. Show numbers. Tap 3. Show numbers. Tap 11. Show numbers. Tap 3. Show numbers. Tap 1. I didn't promise it was going to be any faster.
Yeah, I'm thinking, with Hey Siri, you can say, Hey Siri, send a text to AJ.
Yes, you can, but I wanted to show you how powerful this was, David.
I gotta check my phone here. Make sure I'm not sending a text to AJ.
And so those are some of the things that you can do with the voice command feature, the voice control. And then, yes, mixed with the Hey Siri commands, it is a very, very powerful tool because not only can you open like a new message, but you could also just navigate to your phone. So do things like go home, swipe left, things like that. So Hey Siri doesn't do those type of things.
That could be very helpful, I guess, if you're on Tinder, right? You just open up.
Swipe left, swipe right. Yep. And then another thing they do give you customizable commands. So you can actually go into it and you can set up your own words that do certain things. So you can have a custom command that will tell your phone exactly what to do. Let's say you wanted to make a shortcut for an app. You can have a command shortcut that you give it that opens up a certain app. You can have it know your home address. So if you go in and say home address, it's going to know exactly what your home address is. You can do default music controls with this, and you can actually go ahead and teach it what kind of vocabulary you use. And so all of this is just getting better and better. This was released in the iOS 13. So I think they're in 15 right now. So you can imagine it's probably just they're adding more and more features to this. And those are some of the voice control features I wanted to show you. Definitely love the iPhone capabilities here that you can do. And so that's just a little brief one. I know not everything went according to plan, but the voice control feature, especially when you're a Yankee, doesn't always pick up exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think Siri and Cortana listen about as well as a 5-year-old kid, so that's not too bad. That's making some progress. And I know in our house we have Alexa in our house, and so we do a lot with Alexa. And I will say that if you have both a Google Home or an Alexa, an Echo, or any of these apps, and you have children, be sure that you put PINs, the personal identification number, to allow purchases, because kids learn how to use this faster than we do as adults. and you will start getting packages at your house for things that the kids have ordered. You will notice it debited from your bank account, and you're just buying all sorts of stuff. So put a pin on there to make sure that Alexa or Siri or Google, that they're asking for your PIN before they go ahead and proceed with that purchase.
Yeah, I've had friends say that where they've searched things, like what's what's the price on a Wi-Fi router, and next thing you know, it's in their cart. And it's like, no, I didn't say that. I did not tell you to do that. So yeah, I mean, just like when I was talking and it was typing everything I said, there's definitely some learning curves to everything, and I just hopefully showed you some of the capabilities there. So if there ever is a situation where you want to be hands-free, um, some people, if there's an injury to your hand especially, this is where it's going to come in big time handy, especially with your phone. You're going to have to learn how to navigate the phone and still be able to make phone calls, read texts and stuff like that. And so your phone will do all that with you just over the voice commands.
Yeah, and I know that dictation feature in Word is pretty powerful as well. So, once you figure out how to deal with Cortana and open up Word, you could very legitimately open Word, start dictation, and start speaking and typing out a document without ever touching the keyboard. That's pretty cool.
Yep, pretty powerful stuff. It does take some training through your voice. So with that dictation software, Windows and Microsoft will take a while to learn how you talk. Um, that was some of the features I was going to show, but it was not too accurate. I've been doing it for about a week with it, but still the dictation software, at least with Windows 10, has it's definitely not as good as Apple's. Apple's is awesome, but you also saw how quick Hey Siri would come up compared to Hey Cortana or Cortana. So
Yeah, and there is software out there like the Dragon software that is specifically for voice recognition, and that's very good. Now, of course, you're getting into more expensive software at that point. That dictation software is very powerful, though.
yeah, we have a client who uses the Dragon software, and you can tell it to go 3 sentences back, edit the word, you know, highlight a paragraph, move it down. It's amazing the capabilities you can have with it. So, and I think the Windows one gets better as you continue to use it. But for today, it would have been even worse than the times I tried to get Cortana to pull up and it didn't. So I appreciate everyone for coming out and letting me show you some of those cool tricks, the hands-free, look mom, no hands, electronic tricks. I know the Android has very similar things. I don't have an Android device, so couldn't show you guys.
Yeah, and you can tie all of that stuff in if you want to go all out and set up your smart home where you have lights, maybe your doors, cameras in your house, all of the features. I know our Alexa can turn the TV on. It integrates with Roku, and so you can actually control the TV from Alexa. The more you tie into it, the more you can control, and again, all voice control.
Pretty amazing, pretty amazing. So just imagine what it will be in just a few years, everything will be on it, start my car, boom, your car starts outside and whatever else you want,
It's amazing how much it feels like Star Trek defines what our technology is going to be. You think about the flip phones that we used to have, just like the Star Trek tricorders there, and then they had the touch here and tell the computer to do whatever. That's exactly what we do today.
I'm waiting for the transport. That would be awesome.
Bridget Kyle said on Facebook that she uses the dictation feature on her Android all the time. I always proofread before sending because it doesn't like my Southern accent. Good advice there, Bridget. Yeah, be sure you always proofread before letting it send.
Yes, that's one thing you got to watch for. Even with the Google searches, not always sure what you're gonna get.
And really, you need to do that. Just type in a text too, because with autocorrect,
Yeah.
those are pretty funny. You look up the autocorrect mistakes up there. Funny.
Yeah, there's some really good ones out there. So, do we have any other questions before we? This is or suggestions. Bridget, we appreciate that. But if anybody had anything else they wanted to come in with, we do enjoy the feedback, the participation.
I don't see anything else on Facebook here.
All right. Well, I'll voice control it over to you there, David, for next week's topic.
All right. Yeah, sure. So next week, I think we have the coolest name for a chill with Jim yet. Not very chill, but we're going to be talking about the kill chain. That is a cool name. It doesn't really matter what it is. That's a cool name. But what it actually is the stages of a cyber attack. That's what it's called. That's the kill chain. What does a hacker do, and what do you call each of those steps that a hacker takes as they break into your systems and steal everything that you've worked hard to build? So yeah, that's what we'll be talking about. Kill chain, the stages of a cyber attack.
All right, and that link's in our chat there. I'm sure David's going to put it on the Facebook there too for everybody. So
you sound like an old timer. Put it on the Facebook.
On the old Facebook out there.
Go down to the Walmart.
The Walmart. Yeah, I love that. I love that. But maybe I think I'm a little bit of an old time. Well, I guess Facebook came out when I was in college, so.
And it was the Facebook when it started.
It was.
So
I helped him pick the name, so.
Yeah, he called the other day and said to tell you thank you for all the help that you gave him in getting Facebook started. He does appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, look at where I'm staying. I mean,
almost as nice as Mark Zuckerberg's house, I'm sure.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate all of the support you give us. And any topics you could think of that you want to learn more about, just reach out anytime. Let us know, and we will be sure to incorporate them into a chill with Jim, or maybe do a whole episode about it. And we do thank you for all of the support that you guys give us. And we will see you next week on next week's episode of Chill with Jim on the same chill network at the same chill time. David, what are you laughing at?
Candace is over here posting GIFs on Teams.
Oh, okay.
She likes our jokes. That's what I'm getting from her GIF. She really enjoys our humor.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right. Well, I think the voice control works for a lot. So, hey, David, end the Zoom meeting.